And by the way, we want to start the game as soon as humanly possible. We just have to make sure the players are 100% ready. Okay, so predictions. Can he come back? Because here's the interesting thing. There's been a reversal. Last time it was DRG who had this edge, coming in here. And, now it's the other way around.
Well, DRG, he's my favorite here.
Yeah.
But coming up against MarineKing, when MarineKing already beat him down 2-1, having to win so many games, he has to go win 5 games. He can only lose 2. So that is a huge deal. And that's going to make it extremely hard for him because MarineKing has been on point in this tournament. He has played almost flawlessly throughout.
Yeah, it's a really good point. MarineKing, he seems to be the new MVP, the Neo MVP, in his ability to pick the correct build order against that specific player, disarm him, and he has a lot of opportunities to do that right now. All right, the countdown has started, and the game is loading. Let's make some noise for game number 1 in the finals of this MLG. In the bottom left, we have our Terran player, perfect unit control, out-microing his opponents in every game he's been playing so far. Give it up for MarineKing. Not too far away, sharing the bottom side of the map on the right. Able to use every possible unit combination like a pro. Give it up for DRG.
Shakura's Plateau, the first map here. It's a map that DRG has some hard memories on. For instance, in the Blizzard Cup, it was the last map against MMA, and he barely lost on it. That was a very important match for him. It's a tough map for ZVT.
Yes.
They're going to hit a max timing push a lot of the time right before Broodlords.
That's a great point.
That is oftentimes the hardest thing to hold.
And the reasoning for that, for what Artosis has said, is you have to look at the geography on the map. Basically, this is a map that can be split in half so easy. There's only one real point. It's a big hallway, but it's still just one hallway to get from the left side of the map to the right side of the map. In other words, Terran can just keep expanding and taking locations, and that's a tough thing for the Zerg because eventually those, as you can see on the minimap, there's 4 expansions close in the middle. If we get a shot of each of them, please. These 4 locations. Now, if Zerg is forced into taking those, it's very easy for Terran to push. I guess we could call them island locations, top and bottom, do not tend to play a role until the late game, although there have been moments where Terran players have been known to hide an expansion there. So we will see. It'll also, of course, depend a lot on what kind of build orders they choose going into these games.
Well, speaking of that, Tasteless, we have a command center first build from MarineKing right into those double gases. That means he's going to jump up to a factory almost immediately. And will he go just for a 1 factory reactor to Hellion? Or will he do one of these crazy builds where he gets a couple factories? It's hard to say because this is absolutely a map that you can mech on as well.
Oh yeah, mech is, I think this is, out of all the maps that there are in StarCraft 2, this is probably the best map to try mech. And not even mech with pushes, you can just do mech sitting around turtling.
Oh yeah, you can turtle right up, max out, and go for it if you want. And we already saw earlier that DRG was a little bit weak to mech before when MarineKing did it in their last set.
Yep.
And he did it on dual site, of course, a very small map that's quite good for mech. But again, this one, not so big itself, especially with that middle area just as you described.
Now, also, it's not completely gloom and doom here for DRG. Mutalisks are very strong on a map like this.
Yeah.
The expansions themselves are not, a stone throw away from each other by foot. You can go into the main, attack there, go out, attack the, one of the thirds that's right outside that location. You can go all over the place.
That's
So
very true. And
that's something that we might want to keep an eye out for.
There's also a lot of room behind the expansion, behind the main base, that allows that as well. Now we do have a couple Zerglings running in. Is he going to be able to scout what's going on? Doesn't look like he saw that the add-on was being made. He doesn't know. He does know that it is a command center first build, but doesn't know that MarineKing is teching. Although that's a very good follow-up, so it's not too hard to guess. Now, one thing I do want to point out for DRG is that he hasn't taken any gases yet, and in fact, just throwing up 3 gases right now.
And you know, we're going to see. I'm actually in the dark on this. If you take 3 gases at this point in time, do you know what you're going to tech for?
Well, he's definitely going to go up to layer very quickly. I think he's going to hit layer before Zergling speed. No real reason to get Zergling speed right now.
Is he going to like rush to Infestors maybe?
He definitely could.
I feel like he would get 4 gases if he was going to go for Mutalisks.
Well, we'll see when he takes that 4th, but a Roach Warren is going up. And oh my god. Is he actually, does he
take it easy on those creep tumors. I know that you're a vicious guy, but
that's your creep tumor.
That's your creep tumor. So, he's going to push forward with the spine crawlers. Zerg on this map generally don't get to get their creep too far past the middle point.
Well, that is true, Tasteless. And DRG has actually done something to help that out a little bit. He has the spine crawler, and he has 4 queens. And 4 is a pretty magical number against Terran. You can push forward a lot easier with it, because you can leave 2 queens at your hatcheries if you want. Of course, the 3rd queen can come down to help, but 2 queens against Hellions really helps out quite a bit. You gain transfusion energy very quickly.
I see that we have some roaches on the way here. Endling speed is being upgraded. Is there a possibility that he's going to do a roach ling push to the expansion? And also, by the way, we may have gotten a shot of it when I was looking at our preview screen, because Dan and me get an extra screen to look into the game. Yeah, this is an extra base coming up here. If DRG elects to be aggressive early on, there's not going to be too much that MarineKing Prime can do.
Well, he definitely is going to, Tasteless. He has a lot of roaches right now. He has not shown that MarineKing has no idea that this is happening. And in fact, he's trying to push back the Hellions first.
Oh my god.
The Baneling Nest on the way, but MarineKing has Siege Mode about to finish. He will have tanks with Siege Mode before these get there, so I don't think this will be a game ender, but we will see. That is a lot of roaches coming out, and those Hellions are going to have to run for now.
Now here's one interesting factor. I do not believe that DRG knows about the hidden expansion. He's probably going to attack the secondary base here and try to break through that. But if he holds, then the big question is, will DRG find the other base? Because that base, no way in hell is that thing going to stay alive. Baneling's now morphing. The window of time here, it's closing for safety for MarineKing Prime. He has to do everything in his power, set up everything perfectly if he wants to win or at least hold off this attack and continue this game forward.
Those siege tanks are going to be so valuable. I'm surprised he's bringing the second one to the low ground, but here we go. Indeed, the Baneling's coming in, tries to target them, breaks down that bunker in mere seconds. SCV's coming up, but SCV's no good against Roaches and Banes. And MarineKing, thinking he can hold this, a huge mistake. The Roaches just go right up the ramp. Already 14 workers killed, and now he's on top of the production facilities. Those Banelings, when they connect to the SCVs, this is going to be game over.
This is GG. Expect it any second. There's just nothing really that MarineKing could do. He took a risk, he took a 3rd base, and he got punished for it.
DRG all weekend long, he has been doing economic expansion-based builds, but here in the first game of the finals against MarineKing, does it all in and crushes him. Amazing play by DRG there. A great choice in strategies. MarineKing alters his play in so many ways, and DRG says, you know what? 2 can play at that game.
Yeah, I mean, every single game we've casted of DRG, he's actually, you're right, invested into the late game. Why not start out game number 1 with a crazy all-in? And oddly enough, you could see MarineKing being able to watch the games that he played against Hart, says, okay, it looks like he's going to go for economy in every single game. I'm going to throw up a 3rd command center. I'm going to get ahead. I'm going to have the econ, and that's how I'm going to win. Let's go to our second desk. DJ9. Oh,
playing
DJ
with the invisible cloak back here again. Actually, I just want to echo what Artosis said. I think the point was great. When you're going to a long series like this, if you could possibly tie it up, especially with some sort of nice aggression like that, we've seen players try to kick off a series like that. Not only did it give them the momentum of the first win, but also it's even now. I mean, the way that this series will play out could definitely now go in DRG's favor, and I think he needed that win after what happened in the last match.
Well, he's definitely got the momentum going for him.
That's a big deal, too. Now it's 2-2. It's starting out even, basically. It's starting over. Those first 4 games are out of here. And so that's going to feel very good, especially since Shakuris Plateau is out. Right. That's a map he's not going to use for a bit.
Before we cut to commercial, I have one request for everybody who's watching. Get on Twitter and hashtag MLG. It's a pound symbol and MLG. I want this trending worldwide. I want MLG to grow. I want esports to grow. If you love esports even in the slightest bit, do that. Hashtag MLG. And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.